All right, here we are. I do believe we're here to the Final Four. Did we finish?
I think so. I think Final Four ready
Final
to go.
Four.
Yep.
So we might as well we'll stay right here. Steph Curry, Gary Payton, Ray.
Well, I did not have Steph Curry moving on. So, like Tyler said earlier, by default, I think I go Gary Payton here.
Any reasons other than pride or?
Well, it's not so much pride, I guess. I don't know. Like I tried to argue how John Stockton just fits my mold of a point guard a little bit better, but of Mark's argument, what I like the best about Steph Curry is how you do have to defend him, 40 feet, and that sort of changes the dynamics of your team defense. So there is that aspect, but Gary Payton, offensively probably isn't quite what Steph is, but defensively I give him the nod, and I just intangibles I'd go Gary Payton. So longer argument. There's what you got.
Mark.
I'm going with Steph on it. It's difficult. Again, Gary Payton was one of my first loves. And at this point in my NBA fandom, Steph Curry just again is a player who I believe is, in a sense, unlike anybody that we had seen up until obviously Trae Young just mirrors him so much. But Steph changed the Warriors. The Warriors were not a good franchise. And they've had some years here and there, but they just never were on top and never in that position that they've been in. And again, he, unlike a lot of players in this era, isn't chasing, trying to jump teams to find this for whatever reasons. He was committed with Draymond and Clay from day one to say, we're going to do something special here. And I think he, there was a time where people think they should trade him and keep, why can't I even remember the other little guard that was there that was so dynamic with him when he first got there? I can't remember his name even, but he helped change the face of that program or that franchise. And Tyler mentioned the MVPs. In my personal belief, their second championship with Draymond or with KD, when KD got the MVP, Finals MVP again, I thought Steph should have gotten it that year, their last championship. I don't think KD. I thought Steph carried them at some moments. Not just the finals, the Western Conference Finals when Patrick Beverley had Durant on lock for a couple games before Durant went off. And Steph had some 30-plus point games, a lot of assists. And again, for me, it's just the guy is the ultimate teammate. He's a winner. He's proven that. And I think that you throw that with his ability to shoot the ball, his handles, underrated passing ability, unselfishness. He'll shoot 20 times if they need him to, and he can. He'll shoot 15 to 12 times and let Clay go off. When Clay's on fire, he sits back and watches and cheers for him. He doesn't get jealous like, well, I can do this too. He lets and feeds the guys when they're hot. A great point guard can score, can shoot at this point, in the NBA, and they also are willing to take a back seat and feed the hot hand when somebody else is on fire to keep that offensive rhythm going. I think Steph has that as much as anybody I've seen in NBA history, and I'm going to go with Steph.
If we're starting off in this tournament, get to that point, I'd Gary Payton, Gary Payton, obviously going against John Stockton, going through it, obviously listening to Mark, listening to Tyler, most of you guys' points about it, and you think about it, if I had to start a team and I had to choose between Gary Payton and Steph Curry, I'm taking Steph Curry. I think that he's that guy that people will play for, and it's very genuine when he, like Mark, you said, he cheers for when someone else does well. You know, when Clay's hot, he's looking for him. He doesn't have to get his shot. You know,
Yeah.
so I think he's, you know, obviously Gary Payton, once again, leader, you know, toughness. But if I had to pick a point guard, one of the point guards to start a team, it would be hard to go against what and who he is. So I'm choosing Steph Curry.
Wow.
I know it. I love Steph Curry. I like Klay Thompson is my favorite out of them. But you know what Steph's able to do, I couldn't go with him. Tyler, I chose Steph Curry. Well, what do you got?
Yeah, sorry, my connection lost my connection there. But yeah, I'm going with Steph Curry. You know, agreeing with everything that Mark had said. You know, to me, Steph Curry's greatness on the offensive end, you know, is will outwill what Gary Payton did on the defensive end. And I think a lot of people forget and pick. You may have touched on this, but you know, Steph Curry's not the worst defender in the world. You know, he led the league in steals in 2015, 2016. You know, I know he's not the greatest defender, but you know, he can still defend when he needs to. And you know, Steph Curry for me is definitely moving on.
Okay. And then the top, that means we've got Magic. I don't know who you see. Oh, and J Kidd. So let's go. I think Ray, you all know Ray and I are picking Magic.
Magic.
All right. So Tyler, what about you?
Magic.
Mark?
Magic.
So there.
I was a little nervous there. I had hit the skids. I losing streak. You know, I was preparing for a debate.
I mean, I think we could find one, but I think it would be tough to. J Kidd, again, that good and changed a lot of things, but it's just hard to go against Magic. It really is.
Sure.
So that means that there's our championship, right? I think.
Yeah, I think it's right.
All right. So for our champion of our tournament, Magic Johnson versus Steph Curry. So we've really talked about it. But let's continue on here to finish it. Tyler, start it off. Magic, Steph Curry.
Yeah, so I got to go Magic Johnson. Like most people, Magic is in my top 5 players of greatest of all time. Obviously, I love everything that Steph brings to the table, and you know, I was in high school when Steph started to really kind of revolutionize the game, as I mentioned, with the outside shot. You know, senior year, I had his shoes, and you know, my favorite shoes I've ever had. They were unbelievable, but you know, Magic Johnson, just everything he did. He's a champion. He's got the accolades. You know, like Ben Simmons, that prototype, kind of the first prototype that we saw of that positionless basketball player that could do it all for his team. And you know, I think I'd get run out of town if I didn't pick Magic Johnson.
And I'm picking Magic. Obviously, one, you know, I've already said he's my favorite, but also I still believe in him that, you know, he's the best point guard ever. I just think that with his vision, once again, his leadership, what he did on the court, he could play any position that needed. Yeah, he got better as a shot shooting, but still he was able to get guys the ball and run the break like no other. You know, Jay Will's up there. Also, but in the half court with him, and you know, talked about Ben Simmons, he was able to, you know, even though still in the half court, make a huge difference because he was a matchup nightmare by back people in, and then you had to bring a double, and he's so good at finding the open guy. You know, he wasn't a great defender, but intelligent enough to, and you know, coaching. You know, you make matchups to fit your team, and so you cross matchup guys for him to have success. I'm picking Magic Johnson all the way, and over Steph Curry. Mark?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that too. Again, I think if you wanted me to, I could try to make an argument for Steph and do this, but Magic is in my top 10 of all time, and Steph isn't there yet. and who knows? We'll see what happens the next X amount of years, and where if Steph keeps doing crazy things. And but I can't go against Magic unless it was LeBron.
Hey, the executive producer, maybe he did it for a reason, not to put LeBron in. Just kidding.
I think I know who he likes better.
You know what? I did not do that, but wow, how long would it take us to go Magic versus LeBron? Ray, who are you taking, by the way?
Well, in this matchup, I'm taking Magic, and you guys hit all of the highlights. But if it were Magic LeBron, you're talking how long would the argument be? I'm saying not long, because you would fold like a poor lawn chair. My stutter did not help that. Dang it!
No way. You know what? I would fight with Magic. He's the one guy that I could talk for a while. I would. It'd be very hard to persuade me to go away from Magic, because because I grew up with him, but also I just felt what he did for the game and what he did for his team as well. Is I would fight Magic there, Raymond.
All right, I'll trust you.
Well, this has been, I don't know if we could have done this without being quarantined here, as long as it took, but this has been a blast. So Magic Johnson is our point guard champion of the tournament. Anything else before we leave about the tournament? Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with Magic being the winner. It was a lot of fun. These are definitely some unfortunate times that we're going through, and to kind of have something like this to be able to get together through technology and fill out a bracket and talk about sports, which I know we all love, has been a lot of fun. And I think too, for someone like me who's so young and who's looking to coach and stuff, it's been kind of fun just to kind of sit back and listen to you guys talk and kind of pick your brains in an indirect way and just see kind of how you approach the game and how you you view different players and kind of what they bring to the table. So it's been fun, but this has kind of been an educational experience for me too. So I'm very, very thankful I was brought back to do this.
All right. Well, no, you are very, very good at talking as well, and we trust you way better than Ray trusts me. I know that. Ray, that's on our. I got to talk about it next. Ray, what do you got? Anything?
Well, a couple things for me. My original bracket I filled out in about 2.5 minutes, so it was fine that I didn't have it. But Mark, thanks for having it as a backup for those few times when I needed it. It was nice. The challenge that I had was comparing different generations and different eras of basketball first. So for me, it was nice to have Tyler with his insight of modern basketball. And another challenge I had is I have a mold in my head of what a point guard is, and it's point guards from the 80s and 90s, old school basketball. So it's nice for Mark to kind of give a different insight of what a modern point guard brings to the table. It partly the positionless basketball and partly the skill set has just changed just a little bit, and like I said, the mold, the physique and the size and shape of the point guard is different. And why is his name escaping me? Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is an excellent example of that, and Magic was an out of the box kind of point guard back in the day. So it's nice to have the panel that we did have. I like Tyler said, a learning experience. I pulled some ideas from all of you. I feel like my point of view changed as the tournament was progressing. So, it's good, but there were certainly challenges for sure.
Mark?
Thank you for having me on again, Tyler. It was great meeting you. If you want to coach, you ever get my information, you ever want to reach out, just give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever. This was a lot of fun. I look forward to this all week, and it did not disappoint at all. Just because we last week brought up the old school stuff, and Ray, you mentioned that a little bit, and I was looking to see on the list who wasn't on there. Like I said, there's a couple people I would have loved to put on and take off and change some seating. But I just want to say I'm so glad Bob Cousy wasn't on there, because I would have had such a huge argument for anybody that says he's one of the best point guards of all time. Because when people talk about him, it drives me crazy. Because anybody who ever watched him dribble, the game was different then. He was good in that era, but he could not play against X amount of certain people. And so I think that's the important part about understanding the eras is the game does keep evolving. And I will never be that guy that holds on to old, like, oh, he's the best ever because I watched him growing up. But the guys like Mike and Magic and Larry and stuff, we have to hold on to that because they were that good and could play in any era. But then at the same time, young people forget and want to say, well, or old people sometimes also, well, if LeBron or they would have played in our day or Steph would have played back then, we would have just they would adapt and be fine. Nobody had the skill set that some of these guys now have. So it's just, I think it matters how the game has evolved, how strength has evolved. I'm sure everybody here has watched The Last Dance. That era and Mike starting to really weight train. You go back and watch 80s basketball, your favorite team pick in the short shorts, how many skinny legs of 6'6", 6'7" guys with legs like mine were out there? Clearly longer, but they weren't weight training, and all those things make it different in this era. So even the games, they say the game's less physical in a lot of ways, yes, because fouls are called differently, but people are bigger and stronger than they were then. And all these things factor into these conversations. And I think that it was fun having the discussion. It was fun seeing two people be swayed a little bit. And I think that listening to other points is fun. So
no, Tyler was once.
Well, that was awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my last thing is, this is, once again, this is awesome. This is why we call it Gym Teacher Dreams. But in terms of what we did today, it's just, I really look forward to it, us doing this all week, like you said, Mark, and then sitting here for 3 hours. It wasn't easy 3 hours. It was like the first week of practice when you're excited, everything's going well. I mean, it didn't feel like it was 3 hours, they were on because of you guys and being able to talk sports and have, conversations about, all these special players. And the biggest thing is when we do something like this, and I give a lot of those, the experts credit, it's hard to do stuff like this and not use your heart. That's when you got to do your research. You got to spend that time. And that's why I got swayed maybe here and there because my heart says this, but yeah, that point's true. And that's why, when I have this 3-point tournament that I have, I've spent a lot of time kind of getting research for it, getting the numbers down because of that. So it's almost sparked that stat nerd in me again for basketball that I've been lacking here. So it's been awesome. So thanks, guys. We doing it again next week?
I'm down.
I'm in.
All right. What do we want? I know, Mark, you said yours was most overrated. We kind of hit that as we go through these different things. And like I said, my 3-point one that I have potentially ready is by the numbers 3-point shooters. Who's the best? Because I you had to make 800 and shoot 38% to get it down to 64. And guys like Larry Bird, if you think a 3-point shooter who's the best 3-point shooter, Larry Bird's probably one of the first guys comes on your list, right? He's not even in but he didn't have a 3-point line until towards late his career. So he's not in that tournament because of that. And guys like, Kevin Durant, who's a great shooter, he's not one of the better seeds because of some of the numbers. So if you want to do that, or if we just want to pick a topic or something, let me know. But I'd love to do this again. Maybe not quite 3 hours, but like I said, this was a blast. I appreciate it. Mark, make sure you say hi to your family for me. And Jill, I don't know, Jill, his wife is from the U also. They're Ray, so UD lives everywhere. There's, everywhere. There's always a little, what is it? Always a little U in anywhere. So anyway, once again, anything else?
All right. Thanks again. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Mark, it was nice meeting you. Obviously, everyone take care and stay safe during these times.
Yeah.
Likewise.
All right.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, Gym Teacher Dreams, tournament signing off, America.